Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ari'el if you're new here, and as you can tell from the title of this video, you guys are going to get to know me. And before you get any further tonight, I want to go ahead and make sure you guys stop the video right here. Go ahead and pause it, hit the subscribe button, make sure you turn on your notification bell so that you'll know when I'm uploading videos like these if you like content like this. So I asked you guys on Instagram as well as here on YouTube to ask me anything. I put up a little question box situation on my Instagram page. I did it 3 times and I asked you guys to ask me whatever you wanted, and I got a lot of interesting questions. I also got a couple here on YouTube, and then I also went back in my DMs on Instagram, back here in some of the videos that I posted a while ago, and I went back under the comment section to make sure I didn't miss any questions. Maybe I can expand a little bit more, and I jotted them all down. We're gonna go ahead and get started, guys, because let me tell you guys, it's a lot of questions, and they are good questions. I'm not even gonna lie to you. So we got our wine, we are relaxed. I'm here in my living room area. I suggest you do the same. Go ahead, matter of fact, stop the video right here. Go ahead, get you a glass of wine, get you some tea, get you some water, whatever it is that you want to drink, because we're gonna go ahead and get started on these questions. Take a sip. Okay, so I'm not going to ask them in any specific order by any means, because they just kind of all came in and they're all like really random different questions. And a couple of them I haven't even really thought of. Maybe I should have probably thought of the answers, because I was like, I just was collecting all the questions, and then I'm like, I know I gotta like record it. I probably should have thought about the answers. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. And once again, not in any specific order, we're just gonna go. So number 1, favorite celebrity crush. Who is your celebrity crush? So for me, hands down, I don't care. It's gonna be Trey Songz. Trey Songz, it has been my heart and my love for a very, very long time. I know there has been things about Trey Songz on the internet. However, keep those things to yourself, Trey Songz is my man. My man. Okay, so the next question is, are you planning on doing more declutter videos, maybe makeup or beauty products? That is a great question, and I said I was gonna expand on this. So if you guys haven't seen my declutter video, my recent declutter video, I just posted it a few days ago. Make sure you guys go back and watch that video, because we're getting rid of everything. I am in a declutter season right now, and we are getting rid of everything. But I did say in that video that I wanted to possibly do a part 2 of that video, and I think I am going to do it. And then she had asked if I'm going to be doing it with makeup or beauty products. I think that's a great idea. I do have a lot of old makeup that I could get rid of, and then I also have a lot of hair products and stuff that I can also get rid of too. So I think that's a great idea. Can I say I'm doing another declutter video? Possibly, yes, for sure. Can I say that I'm going to do it with makeup and beauty products? Definitely, possibly, yes, for sure. So I think I may do a part 2 on that. I'm still not 100% sold, because I really just need to make sure that I have enough to actually do a declutter video. The thing about me and decluttering is that I do it often, like quite often. So I need to make sure that I have enough to actually put in another video. So yes and no. If I have enough, absolutely I'm going to be doing it, especially with makeup and beauty products. That was a great question. The next question is favorite old school R&B music video on YouTube. So okay, I thought about this one. This is one of the ones I was like, oh my gosh, I need to think about what is actually my favorite. So one of my favorite things to do, I will say this, sit and watch old music videos with my glass of wine. Y'all, I can literally do that for hours. So I'll sit right here on this couch just like this with this robe and this blanket and have my TV on with my glass of wine, sipping away and watching old music videos. Do I have a favorite music video that I can watch? I don't think so. I don't think I have a favorite one. I can just let them rip. I will tell you that a lot of the old videos though, they're so entertaining. Like I could just sit there and literally watch them for hours. I don't think I have a favorite, y'all. I really don't think I have a favorite. That was a good question though, but I don't think I have a favorite. I will say, like, a lot of the R&B music that I like, I mean, I loved Blackstreet. Blackstreet was a good one. Jagged Edge, the groups, like the old 90s group, Monica, of course. I don't know, Mariah Carey, like all the old R&B. I just don't have a favorite video. But I can sit and watch videos for like a long time. So a favorite, I don't really think I have one. The next question is, how old am I and when is my birthday? So I am 34 years old. I will be 35 this year on October 8th. So Libra gang. Okay, so I also got a lot of questions about Bailey. So I was like, dang, y'all love Bailey too. So if you don't know, Bailey is my dog. And I got a whole bunch of questions about Bailey, about her age, her breed. Is this my first dog? What type of dog? Well, the same as breed. What else? What else was in here? Age, breed. Is she your first dog? When is Bailey's birthday? How old is Bailey? A lot of it was how old is Bailey? How much does she weigh? Okay, so I'm just gonna answer. I'm gonna go into a little short story about Bailey because I thought about it as I was getting all these questions about Bailey. I was like, did I ever even tell y'all how I even got Bailey? Like how she even came about? I'm not sure. But just to kind of run it down, Bailey I think is 2.5, maybe. I'll get to that in a second though. The breed, I think she's a pit and a lab mix. I think, because I don't really know. Is she my first dog? No, absolutely not. I've always had dogs. I think there's only been like a really short period of time in my life where I didn't have a dog, and I think that was like right when I moved. I can't even remember because it was a really short period of time. She is, I will say, the biggest dog that I've ever had. I've never had a dog quite as big as her that weighs as much as her. She weighs about 75 pounds. She does not look like it, but she weighs about 75 pounds. The last time we went to the vet, she was like 74 point something. And I was like, OMG. So she's like all muscle. She's kind of small, but she's all muscle and she's very heavy. So yeah, but short story on how I actually got Bailey. So I went to the Atlanta Humane Society here in Atlanta, Georgia, and I really wanted a dog. I had just gotten rid of another dog that I had, and I was like, oh my gosh, I really want a dog. Like I'm in this apartment by myself and I just want a dog. But I never had a rescue before. I never like adopted a dog or anything like that. And I know that I didn't want to pay like a whole lot of money. I'm used to having like really small designer dogs that are very expensive. So I was like, I know I didn't want to pay a whole bunch of money for a dog, but I really just wanted a dog. So I was like, maybe I'll just try to go and do a rescue or maybe just adopt. And I was just gonna see what they had. You know, wasn't gonna be anything set in stone or anything like that. I think I went up there on a Friday. I think it was a Friday evening and they were about to close. I think I had maybe like 20 minutes before they were about to close. So I went in and they had it all divided up between the big dogs and the small dogs. And so I went in and of course I went straight to the small dogs because I did not want a big dog. And I scanned out the little dogs or whatever, and then I ran into Bailey. Back then they had her name something else. It was something stupid. I don't remember what it was. It just did not matter. It didn't go at all, but I was like, what? Anyway, so they had her, she was sitting all by herself in this little, it wasn't a crate, but it was like a section divided off, like little area that they had all the dogs in. All the dogs had their own little separate sections divided. So she was in her own little section and she was by herself and she was sitting on a whole bunch of newspaper, like shredded newspaper. And I was like, oh my God. And she had these really big eyes and she was just staring. She's just like, if I can find a clip of how she looked, because I took like a really, really short clip because I was kind of rushing because they were about to close, but I took this really short clip, and if I can find it, I will insert it somewhere in here. But she was just staring at me like, like, who are you? What are you doing? I've seen you before. Maybe I did. Like, she was staring at me like she knew me, but almost like she had a slight attitude. She still stares at me like that to this day. She got an attitude problem. Anyway, so I looked at her, I was like, oh, she's kind of cute. But then they had another dog too. Was the other dog? No, the dog was next to her and it was also a black dog. And I was like, oh my God, but this one was like super spunky. Bailey was super chill and just sitting there staring at me like she had an attitude problem. The other dog was like super spunky and, you know, now I kind of went towards the other dog because I was like, oh my gosh, it was so cute. It was black like Bailey, short hair like Bailey, but it was a puppy, so it was just like cute and had like little frolicky energy. Is that a word? It was just so cute. So I was like, oh man. So they allowed me to take the dogs out in the little play area so that I can play with them and kind of bond with them for a little bit. So I did that. I did it with the Spunky dog, and it had a lot of energy. I'm not even gonna lie, but that dog was so freaking cute. And Bailey was cute too, but Bailey was extremely skinny, like extremely skinny. The other dog looked like healthy and just playful, all kind of stuff. So I was like, oh my gosh, she's so cute. So then they were like, okay, you want to see this one? And I was like, okay, yeah, let me see this one. So they pulled her out and we went into the back room, and Bailey literally just sat there and stared at me like she just sat there and stared. She sniffed a little bit, but for the most part, she caught the squat and she just stared like, so what we gonna do? Like, you taking me home, or like, am I about to go back to bed? Like, what we gonna do? That is literally how she was looking like the whole time. And I'm like, what's wrong with this dog? Because it almost looks like it got an attitude a little bit. Like, why are you here? Either you gonna take me home or you not. Like, that's how she was looking. Skinny on top of that. Like, the nerve of you looking like that. Anyway, so I was like, I don't know if I'm not sure. I need to sleep on it. So I put her back, put both of the dogs back. They were in it, they closed anyway. So I was like, the next morning, I'm gonna make the decision that night. I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna go sleep on it, make the decision, and then I'll figure it out in the morning or whatever. So I did that. I went home, I thought about it. So I had made up my mind that I was gonna go get Bailey. And the reason why was because I wanted a chill dog. The dog that I had just gotten rid of was super hype, super spunky, and I just could not control that dog. And I didn't want that same situation again. So I was like, I'm just gonna go and get this dog because this dog is super chill, and I need a super chill dog in my life right now. Like, that's just what it was. Went back the next morning. I got there as soon as they opened up because the place it'd be packed on the weekend. So I got there as soon as it opened up. I went inside and they had about 3 families, like with kids, and I think one was just like a regular, just a couple with no kids. But it was like 3 families all looking at Bailey. They were looking at Bailey and they were looking at the other dog too, the one right next to it, because the sizes of both of them were like perfect. And I could hear them talking about how perfect the size was. I think they had a house and they were like, oh yeah, this dog will be perfect. Like, the kids were getting excited and everything. And I knew they had more eyes on Bailey than the other dog, because the other dog was just buck wild. Like, it really was. It was so cute, but it was buck wild. And Bailey, when I got there, she's still just sitting there staring, chilling. I think she recognized me the next day, because as she's looking at them, when I came in, she turned over, panned at me, didn't wag a tail or anything. She just looking though. She just looking like, are you coming back with me or no? We got this connection right here. What we gonna do? Like, girl, you either coming to get me or no. That's how she was looking. She wasn't even paying the other family attention anymore. So I was like, okay, girl, I'm coming to get you, but I ain't say nothing. I was like, it was like this. We was here. I just kind of bypassed the little families or whatever, and I went and grabbed the person at the people who worked there, and I said, I want to take that dog right there. And they were like, you sure? I was like, yes. I went home, thought about it. You know, they were there the previous day, and I told them that I was going to be back for one of the dogs, so they remembered me. So they went and they got Bailey, right? Put the little collar on her. All the family was like, oh my God, you taking that dog? Like, you know, I was like, yeah, I'm taking her. Like, she needs to be me, you know? Yeah, so I went and got her that, and like one of the kids was like a little upset because he really wanted the dog. I felt kind of bad, but I didn't at the same time. I was like, that's my dog. Anyway, so did all the paperwork and everything, got over there. The thing about it is they didn't have any information on her at all. She was a transfer from another shelter, and that shelter accepted like animals who were possibly pets at one time, but were maybe like abused or neglected or something like that. And it was an overflow at that shelter, so they shipped a whole bunch of dogs, including Bailey, over to the Atlanta Humane Society, where I picked her up at. So when they got her, they didn't have any information on her at all. They didn't know how old she was. They didn't know like her birthday or anything. They didn't even know what type of breed she was, and they definitely didn't know where she came from at all. They just assumed that because that shelter accepted those type of pets, that maybe she would be that type of pet. Maybe she had an owner. I kind of believe that too, because it was some basic things that she knew, like sit, stay. We still working on that one to this day. Like, stay put. But she knew a couple of little things, and you can maybe kind of tell that she was somebody's pet, but at the same time, not really. But she was super skinny. She was all skin and bones, like super, super skinny. And long story short, anyway, I just took her home, plumpered her up, and now she's like 75 pounds, and she chilling. She chilling, and she still got the same attitude to this day. So I just had to clear that up and talk about Bailey, because I did get a whole bunch of questions about Bailey, and I'm like, I don't know if I've ever actually even told y'all that story. I may have kind of like talked around it a little bit, but you know, I don't know. So that's Bailey. So moving right along, the next question is favorite YouTubers. That's a good question. I have a lot of favorite YouTubers. I don't really have like a single YouTuber that I love. I lie, I do. I love Aaliyah. Goals. I definitely love Aaliyah. Who else do I like? I like a lot of old people, like not old people, but like older YouTubers, because I've been watching YouTube from like the beginning of time, and a lot of those people that I was watching were like makeup gurus and stuff, and then they grew up and got their own families and they're married with kids and stuff now, and then their channels turned from makeup gurus to like lifestyle vlogs and stuff. It's Judy's time, or It's Judy Time. I love her, and It's Judy's Life. It started out as that. Or did it start with It's Judy's Time? One or the other, but y'all know Judy. I love Gabe and Babe and their whole family. I've been watching them for forever. Some people for today, I love Elliot Choi, I believe his name is. I love him for the style of his videos. I think he's entertaining too. So I definitely like watching him. I just love the quality of his videos too. I love Kyra. I love, and she's new. Like I haven't always been watching Kyra. Like that's recent for me. Who else do I watch often? I also love Dulce Candy. Her Sophia Esperanza, I believe. She doesn't post that often. Well, she kind of does, but when she does, you know, I really love to watch her videos. So it kind of just depends. Like I watch a whole lot of people. I know I'm forgetting a lot of people who I actually watch too. I probably should have thought about that too. But there is a lot of people. Do I have like an absolute favorite? Not really. I have some ones that I really love to watch, but a favorite, it's hard for me to pinpoint favorites because I just be having so many. I got a couple questions about Fifth and Juniper. The first one was, how much did it take to start up your business? Which is a great question. So for those of you who don't know, I do have Fifth and Juniper, which is a online resale thrift shop, if you will, with all of your secondhand goods and brand new things that are on there as well. By the way, everything is 50% off. I will link it down below. It's fifithandjuniper.com. Go ahead and check it out. But I started out as reselling, and I started reselling in 2013. So like 2012, 2013, the idea kind of popped in my head at 2011, but I didn't start it until like 2012, 2013. And I started reselling clothes and shoes, and I would do it on like, I can't remember, like back then it was like eBay days, Facebook, was Facebook Marketplace? Facebook Marketplace came like a few years later. To answer the question, let me get back to the question. So how much was it to start up the business? To answer that question, if I'm being 100% honest with you, 100%, if we really want to get technical with it, it didn't cost me anything, because when I first started reselling, the thought came into my mind, I was getting rid of a whole bunch of my stuff, also decluttering. I was decluttering way back then. Decluttering is always something that I've done. But I was getting rid of a whole bunch of my clothes, a whole bunch of my shoes, and I thought in my mind, yes, I was taking all of these things up to Goodwill, but I was thinking in my mind, like, I really wish that I can get some type of money for this, even though it's not brand new stuff. And I've had it for a while, but it was great quality items. And then some stuff I really did have tags on it. Like I still had tags on all of these things that I would buy. Back then I was really into shopping, malls, shoes and stuff. I still had shoes with the boxes in them. I love shoes. Like I was a collector of heels and stuff. So they still have boxes and all of that to it. And I'm like, man, it would be really nice if I could actually get some kind of money back for this, even though I probably won't get the full amount. I wish I could get some. And so I started to sell, I want to say eBay was first. I started to sell on eBay for a short period of time. But then after that, I found Poshmark. And I think I found Poshmark like in 2013. I found that and the rest was history. So I really started off selling just my own clothes. Yes, you buy your own clothes, but I've had this stuff for so long. Like, I was like, let me just see how much I can get for it. And the next thing you know, I was selling out all of my clothes and my shoes that was in my closet. And then after that, I was looking for clothes and shoes that were in my family's closet so that I could sell their stuff too. So I still didn't have to really come out of pocket for anything because I was literally just selling stuff that nobody else really wanted. After that, I did that for a couple of years. And then after that is when I really started to like invest in it. So I got like lighting. That's when I went to stores and stuff. So I would go to a thrift store and I would find like really cheap clothing. At first, I wasn't really focused on name brands and stuff because I didn't really know how to shop for it. So I was just like, you know, I'm just gonna find what's cute. And I started with dresses. I was like, I'm just gonna do nothing but resell dresses. And then so I started reselling dresses, but then I found the magic in shoes and heels, and so I started doing that. So there was a very short period of time where I was like, I'm just gonna sell nothing but shoes. Then I started doing bags and accessories. I'm just gonna find that, and it still wasn't name brand stuff. But then maybe after about a year or so of doing that, that's when I started doing my research to find out what would actually sell for a higher price, a higher top dollar price, and what do I need to be looking for when I go to the thrift store. So that's when I started buying like name brand stuff. And when that happened, that's when the money started to come in for me. Like, the only thing with resale is that, at least for me, you have to stay consistent with it. Like, you have to, like, if you're going to shop, I'm going out and I'm looking for things specifically to sell on Poshmark. I got really smart with the brand, looking at brands that I knew would sell on Poshmark because it's very specific. So I would look for those brands and I would resell those brands. So anyway, realistically, to answer the question, I started out with $0. I started with selling my own stuff in my own closet for free, like just to make extra money or try to make a little bit of money back. And then I would shop in other people's closets too. Well, not shop, but I would like go and find stuff from my family and friends and stuff, and then sell their stuff. So I really wasn't coming out of pocket with anything. And then eventually is when I started to go to stores to look for things specifically to resell. And that's when you start putting a little bit of money into it. So honestly, realistically, I think you can start reselling if that's something that you're interested in doing. I think you could start it as low as $20, to be honest. You could take $20, go into the thrift store, find you a couple of items, especially if you go on a day where they have discounts and stuff. You'll be amazed at some of the things that you can find in there and that you can resell and you can make money off of. So that's that. Realistically, $0. And then it kind of goes along with the next question, which is future of Fifth and Juniper. Where do you see Fifth and Juniper like in the next 5 years? This was also a really great question. Great question. So going back to what I was saying is that how you have to continue to make it work. You have to continue, at least in my experience when it comes to reselling, it has to be a constant, consistent thing. Like, you have to constantly be throwing it out there. You have to constantly list items. You have to constantly refresh items, keep them afloat. If you're selling on like third-party apps, you have to constantly be doing that all the time. When I sell and when I'm doing really good at reselling is when it's in your face all the time. Am I getting burnt out with that? Yes. Am I getting burnt out with reselling? Yes. I am confident in saying that I am getting burnt out with reselling. If you guys have been following me on my channel here on YouTube, you know that last year, like towards the end of last year, I switched over to my dream and started to sell all home decor because I am into home accents, which that is now Fifth and Juniper. It's all of your thrifted, what do you call it, secondhand and gently used items, and also brand new items. I switched everything over last year, at the end of the year last year, without even knowing if it was going to be good or not. I just decided to do it, and that's what it is. But am I getting burnt out with Fifth and Juniper? I'm not going to lie to you guys. I am. I feel like that's a normal thing. You can ask any entrepreneur, do they get burnt out with what they have to do? Yes, because you're literally working around the clock. You are literally working around the clock. And when you're not that big, I'm not really huge. I'm not huge on social media or anything like that. So when you're a small brand and you're trying to get yourself out there, it's literally working around the clock. And am I getting burnt out? Absolutely, yes. Yes. So to answer this question, what do I see Fifth and Juniper in the next 5 years? I don't know. I don't know. I kind of have a small vision of where I think it may be in the next few months. I do think that. I'm just gonna leave that right there for now. I'm just gonna leave that right there for now. As of right now, everything is 50% off on the website. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. Boom. Next question, do you drink? And if so, what is your favorite alcoholic beverage? Absolutely, I drink. Y'all must not be watching the videos because your girl be having a drink or two or three. My favorite alcoholic drink. So I don't like the taste of alcohol at all. So I love wine. If I go out somewhere, I'm usually asking for something fruity, but the very first thing that I ask for is, do you have anything with banana flavor in it? all my friends think I'm weird when I ask that question. But I love banana flavored drinks for some reason. I love bananas too, but a banana flavored drink is just bomb.com to me. I love a banana, and most of the time it's like Caribbean restaurants. So like Jamaican restaurants will have like a dirty banana, and it's usually like some kind of banana liqueur mixed with something else in there. So I love a banana drink, and I love like a fruity drink. So that's that. Yes, I drink, and yes, I love fruity drinks. Do I have a favorite alcoholic whatever? No, because it's usually just something fruity. One piece of advice for your younger self. One piece of advice for my younger self. This is a great question. Think bigger. That would be my advice, to think bigger. When I was younger, you know, and I was thinking about what I wanted to do getting out of school and like where I wanted my life to go, what direction and all of that, I felt like it was very small. Like it was very limited. Like I didn't think beyond like, oh, I can go into like administrative work, or I can go into I don't know, it was just always small. I didn't want to go to school. I knew that. I didn't want to go to school. I didn't want to go to college because I didn't like school. I did good at school, but I hated school at the same time. Like I didn't like it. So I was like, oh, I didn't know. So my only choice really in my eyes was like customer service, administrative work. But I really wish that I would have sat down and really thought about it and just thought bigger. And maybe I would have started like the entrepreneur life way back then when I was younger and just getting out of school. I don't know where I would be if I would have started something way back then, but my mind just wasn't even thinking about that, even though I was very creative. I just didn't think of, oh, wait a minute, I can start a business, or I could do this. Like my mind wasn't going there. My mind was like, graduate and then like go get a customer service job. That's all I can really think of. I couldn't think of anything else. So my piece of advice would definitely be to just really just think bigger. Sit down and think about what it is that I wanted to do creatively, and get it out there. But do I have any regrets? No, I don't have any regrets. That's just the advice that I would give. It's just to think a little bit broader, you know? So I got a bunch of questions about relationship stuff. And I need to drink to that, and I need to take a break. So like I was saying, I got a lot of relationship questions. It was a lot. So I'm gonna go through these. I am gonna answer some. I didn't, it was a lot of them that I was like, no, it's just too much. You know, some things gotta stay personal. But I will answer some of the ones. I picked out a couple of the ones that I thought were really interesting. And then a couple of ones I was just like, what? So the first one, can I take you on a date? No. Can you be my girlfriend? No. Will you marry me? Absolutely not. Okay, so let's get to the real questions. How long were you married, and would you do it again? Great question. So for those of you who don't know, I was married. I was married for 9 years, and would I do it again? Absolutely. I would definitely do it again. I would love to get married again. Yeah, that's that. The next one is, hey Shaylin, love your videos. If you could give one piece of advice on marriage, what would it be? This is also a really good question. I think if I could give one piece of advice, I was going to originally say that I was going to give the advice for just women, because I'm a woman and it's coming from my perspective, but this advice could really be for anyone. I think if you were going to get married, or as you're getting married, or during your marriage, if that's something that you decide to do, is to always just remember to be your own person and have something going on for yourself, you know? And what I mean by that is you can get lost in a marriage. You can definitely get lost in any type of partnership or relationship that you're with, and with somebody for a long time. You can get lost in that situation. But I feel like if you have something going on like outside of your marriage, like you like to do stuff, like you like to go for walks, or you like to paint, or you like to, I don't know, drive cars, or you like whatever your like hobbies are, do that. Make sure you have something going, because it's so easy to get bored, and it's so easy to start like relying on your partner to make you happy, really, and nobody else can really make you happy. Nobody else can, to that. Nobody else can fulfill that happiness for you. That's not their responsibility. That is your responsibility to make yourself happy. And one of the ways that you can do that, just one of the ways that you can do that, is to make sure that you have something going on, something that you love, you know, so that when your partner is out doing their whole thing and living their lives and being that person, you can be a whole person too. Like that would be my piece of advice. Make sure you have a life, you know, make sure you have your own life prior to you merging yours together with someone else's. That would probably be like my one piece of advice. It could be helpful for sure. The next one says, are you in a relationship now? And if so, would you ever include them on your weekly vlogs or on your YouTube channel? So no, I am not in a relationship now, to answer the first part. And if I were to ever get into a relationship, would I ever include them on my channel? Maybe, yeah. I could see, like, if I were to get really close to someone, like, or if I'm married or something, I'm sure you guys would see them in the background. I don't know if I would necessarily combine, but I can't say never, you know? I can't say never. I could get into a relationship or I can get married or something and then it becomes our channel. Like, I don't know. I can't really answer that. What I will say is that I can't see that happening anytime soon. Like, I would have to really be involved with the person for them to be all up on my channel, because this is me and the girlies, okay? We here with it. What? This is our time, you know? Like, don't get me wrong, we love the guys or whatever, but this is my channel. So I'm a lightweight. This wine has got me like, ooh. So I think what I'm gonna do is pause it right here, take a break right here, and I'm gonna come back to you guys tomorrow morning and I will finish the rest of the questions. It's not gonna be much for you, just continue to watch. But for me, I'm about to go to bed. I'm about to finish this glass of wine and I'm about to go to bed because I'm tired. That's the one thing about me. Y'all gonna always get the real, okay? I'm not about to put on for y'all. If I'm tired, I'm tired. I'm just not gonna do it. Like, I had a whole plan, a whole setup to finish this video all tonight, get it all done, but your girl is beat, okay? So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna pause the video right here. I'm gonna finish this glass of wine, and then I'm gonna go to bed. And I also don't wanna say anything crazy and have to edit it out too, so I'm like, I will revisit this situation tomorrow morning, okay? See y'all in the morning. And we're back. Good morning, it is the next day. I got a new beverage here and we're just gonna get right back into these questions because we ain't finished last night and we need to go ahead and finish. So, where did we leave off at? I think we were at relationships because y'all are just so freaking nosy. Y'all are so nosy, but it's okay. The next relationship question was, what are you most attracted to in a guy? Okay, what are you most attracted to in a guy? Most attracted to in a guy, I would probably say mental, for sure. Of course, you know, looks aren't, I don't know if you're talking about like physical features or what, but for me, I think how a person thinks is really attractive if it's in alignment with how I think, or if they have different views on stuff, I don't mind that either, I really don't. So, how a person thinks is pretty important, but if we're talking about like physical attraction, I like height. I like somebody who's bigger than me. Yeah, that's that. So next question, breakup advice, especially after a long-term relationship. This is also good. Y'all was asking some really good questions. Y'all really were. Y'all were asking some really good questions. I would say this is your time. It sounds really cliche and we've heard this several times before, but that is a time to really get in touch with yourself. Learn what you like, learn your likes, learn your dislikes, just to get in touch with you. When it's time to break up or when you do break up, to me, that's the time where you just really get in touch with yourself so that you can kind of, you know, get grounded again and like learn who you are and start over again and then make yourself better. Nobody is perfect. Both of you guys had issues in that relationship. It ain't just him and it ain't just you. Everybody got issues. So now's the time after a breakup to figure out what those issues are, pinpoint those issues, work things out so that you won't carry that into the next situation and put that onto the next person. That's easier said than done, but I just think after a breakup, that is your time to fully let go, especially if it's like over, like let go and figure out who you are as an individual and make yourself better and see what you can do better for the next relationship to come. That's my advice on that. This one was kind of random. What am I doing this weekend? But I told you guys to ask me questions. So what am I doing this weekend? This weekend I have to work The next thing, I think I am going to be editing videos. I'm going to get a video or a vlog out for this Sunday, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. I try to get a video, my weekly vlogs out every Sunday, and then this video that you guys are watching now, I'll be editing that. Actually, I won't be editing that this weekend because today is Wednesday. So I'm going to try to edit this whole video and get it up tonight. That's the thing. And then I think I'm going to try to get my hair done on Sunday. I think I'm going to get braids. So that's what I'm doing this weekend. Next question. Do you get lonely living alone? Oh, so do I get lonely living alone? No, I don't get lonely living alone. I don't. Is there lonely moments? Yes. I do have lonely moments. Those moments aren't all the time. They're not every day. But you know, you can get a lonely moment. You can get like around the holidays sometimes. Okay. Or it just depends, maybe like a certain time of the day. You have lonely moments, but am I lonely just living by myself? No, I'm not. So moving right along, I think I'm gonna close out the video with these last few questions about, because I kind of grouped them together and they were about like self-love and goals and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, this question was really good. This was probably one of my favorite questions that I got. It says, love your content and you just recently, start over. Love your content and just recently watched your video where you mentioned that you used to struggle with your weight and sometimes still do. Can you tell us how you lost the weight and if you still struggle to this day? Thank you for that question. I appreciate that question. I appreciate you noticing what I actually said and caught that little tidbit in that video. So I think the video that you are referring to was my last video, which was also the declutter video. In that video, I talked a little bit about, as I was cleaning out my closet, I talked about a pair of pants that I kept and how I was a size 18. Well, the pants were a size 18, but I was really a size 22 and I was squeezing into those pants. You know, that whole thing. So how I lost the weight, before I answer this question fully, I do plan on doing a whole video on my journey as far as weight loss is concerned. The thing about it is, I want to wait to put that video out until I am closer, not at the ideal weight, but I'm closer to where I want to be, because in the last few years my weight has gone up and down, up and down, up and down, and like I was really, really small at one point, then I had gained some weight back, and then now I'm kind of like in this stage of trying to lose the regain, and like, you know, it just kind of goes up and down. So I'm not going to just wait until I have like the perfect body in my eyes to put out a video on how I actually lost the weight. It's not like that. I just want to be closer to my goal before I do that, and then I want to put out the entire thing. But again, it's not a secret. It's totally not a secret. If you know me in my personal life, everybody knows like my journey and what I did and how I'm still trying to do it. So, but you guys just don't know yet, but that's just because I want to put it together all into one video on its own, separate, because that video is not going to just be about weight and like, oh, do this and steps to do this. It's going to be about mental, you know, it's going to be about what I did in the past. It's going to be about what I want to do in the future. If I'm at that ideal weight, or if I'm at that goal, closer to my goal weight, I want to tell you guys how I'm maintaining that. And I haven't hit those steps yet. I haven't hit those specific goals yet. So I want to get closer to that so that I can have like a well-rounded video, if that makes sense. And then the second half of that question was, do you still struggle to this day? Yes, I still struggle, not nearly as much as I used to at all. I was in a totally different headspace back then a few years ago. But no, do I still struggle as bad as I did? No, but do I look at myself sometimes and I still see a really heavy woman? Yes, absolutely. I still kind of struggle with that. Not every day, it's just time to time, maybe certain outfits, or maybe I'll walk by a mirror and, you know, and it's just like, oh my God, like I'll like zoom in on whatever my problem area is that I think that I have on my body. And you know, that's still a struggle for me sometimes. I have a video that I just found the other day. I was cleaning out my phone. I was like trying to delete stuff and going through my phone. I'll insert it here so that you guys can see. But when I saw that video back then, I didn't have like a lot of videos. I took pictures, but as far as video, I don't really have a whole lot. I have a few, but I don't have a whole lot. So when I came across that video, I was like, oh my goodness. It was like a totally different person. Like I look the same, but I look different. Like I was just like, what the heck? Like and I hadn't seen that video in years, y'all. That video was in 2017, I think. It's 2024. I hadn't seen it probably since then. So, and I didn't even realize it was in my phone. I was just like deleting a whole bunch of stuff, and I was like, what the heck? So yeah, sometimes though, mentally, I do still think that I am in that spot. I know that I've come a very, very long way, and I know that I still have a long way to go to get to where I want to be at, but just appreciating how far I've come. And that I've also kind of mentioned that in the last video as well, is just holding on to that one piece of clothing item, you know, just so you can understand and appreciate. Anyway, you don't know what I'm talking about because you got to go back and watch the video. So go back and watch that video, and then you can come back and fast forward to this part of what I'm talking about now. And just you'll understand why I appreciate how far I've come, but then I also still have work to do as well. So great question. I love that question. Hopefully I answered that question to your liking. I'm not sure, but just stay tuned. I don't know when that video will come. I have no idea as far as a weight loss video. I do think that it will help. I do think my story will help someone out there, because I know, like, when it comes to weight loss and just being a woman and all of that, like, I haven't been through it, y'all. I have been through it, like, mentally. I have struggled, like, mentally when it came to my weight, and in the past, and relationships and all that kind of stuff. So, like, you know, if I can help even just one person with that video, that will be the plan for that video. But again, something like that, call me a perfectionist, but something like that, I don't want to just put out just for views or just for numbers or just to say, oh, I did this and you can do this too. Absolutely not. It's a lot of mental work I want to put into that video. I want it to be stages. I want it to be, this is where I came from, this is how I was feeling, this is what I did, this is how I was feeling, this is the aftermath, this is how I was feeling, and this is what I'm doing to maintain, this is how I'm feeling. Like, I want it to be a video like that where it can really actually help somebody, versus just saying, oh, this is what I did, I lost weight, you can do it too. Absolutely not. I don't want to do it like that. But yeah, I just haven't put it out because I'm still in the process of that. Anyway, moving right along. Great question. Hopefully I answered that the way that you wanted it to be answered. Okay, where do I want to travel to this year? Traveling. I want to go on a cruise. Yeah, I do want to go on a cruise. I've been on cruises before, and I just love a cruise. All you really do is eat, drink, maybe an excursion or two. I don't know, but I just love a cruise. I love a cruise. I wouldn't mind going on another cruise this year. I definitely want to do a solo trip. I took my first solo trip about 2 years ago now, and it was just so bomb. It was so bomb.com, and I definitely want to do that again. Like, I want to try to incorporate like a solo trip at least once a year. Like, even if it's just, it doesn't have to be far. I don't think I'm ready for like a solo trip out of the country or anything like that. I don't have a passport either, so I want to get a passport. Leaving the country just makes me nervous for some reason. I've never been like a big, huge, oh, I want to leave the country. Like, I'm just like, but I'm not opposed to it either. Like, I would definitely do it. Going on a cruise, going on a solo trip, it doesn't really, you know, somewhere in the States, maybe somewhere I haven't been to before. I do love the beach and water and all of that, and I think that's mainly because I don't have that around here like that. So maybe something like that I would like to go to, you know, I don't really know. Best self-love tip. I think that probably goes along with just learning yourself. Everything. I just feel like when you're whole as a person, you can give to everything else, everybody, everything. Like, you gotta make sure your cup is full in order for you to be able to take care or take on or whatever of other people. So I always relate everything back to self. Like, if you're not good, how are you going to take care of your kids? If you're not good, how are you going to take care of your spouse or your mate or your partner or whatever? If you're not good, how are you going to take care of yourself? If you're not good, how are you going to like perform well at your job? Or how are you going to have good relationships with your friends? Everything to me relates back to self. I don't want it to come off like, oh, you know, you're just all self-centered or you're just this and just that. But I feel like if you work on yourself, everything else falls into place. All of your other relationships and everything else that you do in your life makes sense because you're good. Like if you're not good, how are you going to be able to give your best work out to the world? Like, how are you going to be able to present yourself out to the world if you're not good? So therefore, you have to do the inner work. And that is a never-ending process. Nobody is perfect. It takes a daily practice. I know for me, it definitely takes daily practice. I can be a little nonchalant sometimes. I'm not even gonna lie. That's my downfall. Actually, that was one of the questions on here. It's like, what is your downfall, or what can you talk a little bit about, like a downfall? That was the next question. And that is to answer that, you know, I don't, is it downfall? I'm not sure, but I can be a little nonchalant sometimes, and it may come off as if I don't care. I'm working on that. And that goes back to just other things that may have happened to where you just almost just don't really care about a whole lot of things. And I don't want it to come off like I'm not loving or anything like that, because it's, you know, it's a fine line between those two things. But I can be nonchalant and I can be like, you know, it just, because in my mind, a lot of the times I look at everything like it's people out here dying. Why are we like draining all of our energy onto these little subjects that don't matter? But what I have to learn, and what I'm still learning and what I am learning, is that things that don't matter to me matters to somebody else. things that I don't care about, and I'm just like, why is this a thing for you? Matters to somebody else, and people's feelings are valid. So that is definitely one thing that I am learning to do, is to actually care more, not be so nonchalant, and realize that people have real feelings and real things that they go through. Just because it's not something that I may not think is important, or something that may not bother me, doesn't mean that it's not going to bother those other people. So I definitely have to do better with that, for sure. And that's with friendships, that's with family, that's with everything. I do recognize that about me, and we're working on it. We are working on it. And then the last question I'm going to go ahead and close out this video with is, what are your goals for 2024? Also a really good question. Y'all, my goals, let me tell y'all, and I kind of talked a little bit about this in my previous videos too, but traveling was one of them. I really wanted to travel. I also just want to move slower, y'all. I am in this whole thing where I just want to move slower. I have been on go for the last few years, at least the last 2 or 3 years, like go with everything, with my business, with working, with moving, and all this kind of stuff. Like, just everything has been go. And I am tired of that. I have officially burnt myself out, I think. And I'm just ready to slow down. And it's so crazy because the way that I want to slow down, I usually have to force myself to slow down. I usually have to force myself to stop doing whatever it is that I'm doing. And this time around, it's like when 2024 hit, it was like a wake-up call, like, no, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like doing this. I don't want to do this. It's about to be some changes. I'm going through some changes. I'll take you guys along with me on my changes as you continue to watch. Don't forget to subscribe, because as you subscribe, I am going to be posting videos about my changes that I have coming up. And just like, we're just going to be making some changes, because I want to be able to adjust my life where everything is calm and collect, and I am truly living in my soft girl era. I never really felt like that before. I always had to force myself into the whole soft girl era. But when I tell y'all, I'm here, I'm mentally, I'm there. But now it's just adjusting everything else to make sure that it actually matches, to make sure I can actually live up to my soft girl life. And those are the adjustments that I'm going to be making. Those are the changes that I'm going to be making. And I'm excited for it. And I don't feel bad about it. I don't feel shame about it. I will get more into it for sure. I just, I'm still figuring things out right now. But the goal, one of my biggest goals for 2024 is to fully live a soft girl life, do the things that I want to do, passion projects only, live comfortably. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. And traveling is involved in that. Like, it's a lot that goes into that, but I am ready. I am so ready to live a soft, gentle life, a stop and smell the roses, if you will, type of life. That's what I want to live. So I'm making that a major goal for 2024. Anywho, I'm going to end the video right here. Thank you guys so much. Thank you all for your participation with these questions. I was like, I didn't even know if I was going to get any questions, and I ended up getting a whole bunch. There was a few that I did not answer. And so I may do like a part 2, I'm not sure, but this was really good. I didn't think I was gonna actually get feedback. If you guys want me to do a part 2, let me know in the comments below, because I may actually do it. If we do like topics, maybe we can do a topic, if this is the type of video that you guys like to watch. I don't know, it could be like on self or weight or I hate to say relationship stuff, because I really don't like to talk about relationship stuff. Like, but at the same time, you guys are watching me, so if we want to talk about relationship stuff, then, you know, I'll pick and choose the questions, and then maybe we can talk about relationship stuff. I don't know, that's a stretch. I don't know. But anyway, if you guys do want to see more videos like these, don't forget to click the subscribe button. Make sure you leave a comment down below and turn on the notification bell so that you'll know when I'm uploading another video. Yeah, what else I need to tell you? fifthofjuniper.com. Everything is 50% off right now, so be sure to check out that. Other than that, I think that might be it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.